Hello, once again. This is Easy Maths with KG. I've got a good quote for you before we start. This quote says, "Stop wishing, start doing. Stop wishing, start doing." This is Easy Maths. This is my YouTube channel. So you could follow me for maths stuff, grade 12. Specifically for NCS or IEB. Easy Maths. If you have any math related questions, you could email me. It's easymaths@teachers.org. I repeat, if you have any math related questions, you could email me at easymaths@teachers.org. It must be part of the NCS IEB curriculum, grade 12. And go ahead, look for this YouTube channel called Easy Maths, and let's go on and start with today's problem. Today we're going to look at an NCS Maths Paper 1 problem. It's question 1, solve for x. That is problem 1.1.3. It is we're given this and we have to solve for x. So as usual, I'm gonna break it up into steps. So yeah, let's do this. The first step, as we can see here, is that you're given this inequality. So people usually get scared when they see inequality signs. It's okay. Breathe, relax. This 21, take it to the other side. First step is that you want to get it into the correct form. So you take this 21, you take it to the other side, and then by doing that, you'll be left with 0. And then here you'll have minus 21. So I simply equated this to y, but it's the same thing. You just take 21 here. So y is this. So essentially what we want to know from this is that you want to know x values such that this thing is greater than 0. In other words, you want to know x values such that y is greater than 0. Step 2. We can see that this thing is a quadratic equation, this y, and it's greater than 0. So what do? We're going to assume y equals to 0. In other words, we're going to assume that this thing is equal to 0. And why we're doing this is because we could simply plug everything in the quadratic formula. So obviously from this you can find your a, which is the thing next to the x squared, 5. B is the thing next to the x, 21. And c is the constant, which is 4. So you have a, b, c, and then you have your x, and you simply plug in a, b, c here, and then you solve for x. And when you solve for x, doing that, you find an x value of x equals to 4 or x equals to 1 over 5. But do bear in mind, what does this mean? These are x values when y equals to 0. So now we're going to graph this. We're going to graph y equals to 5x squared plus 4 minus 21x. Note that the first thing you should notice is that this is a quadratic equation. The second thing is that the term in front of this x squared, which is 5, is positive. So what does that mean? That means that the shape of your quadratic equation is like this, and you just worked out the intercept, x equals to 4, x equals to 1 over 5. So what do? You simply plug it in. X equals to 1 over 5 here, x equals to 4 here, and you just sketch it. It's rough, so it's not that accurate. So let's go back to our question. What are we doing? What are we aiming for? We want x values such that y is greater than 0. But now we have x values such as y is 0 because we assumed y equals to 0, and that was 1 over 5 and 4. So now let's look at this sketch. So these are your x values. So you're looking for your x value such that y is greater than 0. So you must notice that such x values, not when y equals to 0, when y is greater than 0, it's this orange side. You see, when y is greater than 0, so you're going to look at this point. At this point, y is greater than 0. And also when at this x value is going this way, y is greater than 0. So in other words, when x is greater than 4, when x is anything here, y is greater than 0. Or when x is less than 1 over 5. What is y? Y is greater than 0. Not when y, and when y equals to 0, x equals to 1 over 5 or 1 over 4. So putting that in equations, when x is less than 1 over 5, or when x is greater than 4, y equals to 0. And this is simply your answer. Let's recap so that I must make sure that you guys understand this. So what did we do? We had this question that told us solve for x. The first thing is that we wanted to get it into the correct form. So to get it into the correct form, we took this 21x, took it the other side. Then it's greater than 0, so we made this thing equal to y, so that we just want to know for what values of x is y greater than 0. So we considered the values of y. So we calculated the values of x when y equals to 0. In other words, we assumed y equals to 0. And then by doing that, we're able to solve the quadratic equation. You have your a, b, c, and then you just simply plug in this into your formula. And now, since you have a quadratic thing, you'll solve for values of x where y equals to 0, which is x equals to 4 or x equals to 1 over 5. But don't forget, this is not what you're looking for. We're looking for values of x such that y is greater than 0. So you sketch this. This is the format of a quadratic curve, and the reason why it goes like that and you have your intercept is because the thing, and this constant term in front of the x squared, is positive. So it's like a smiley face upwards, and these are your intercept. So when x, now you just read everything of your graph. When x is less than 1 over 5, y is greater than 0. When x is greater than 4, y is greater than 0, which is indicated by these regions that are orange on this graph. And then you just simply write it down. Yeah, that's it. If you have any problems, just contact me, send an email, and then we should see. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.